today I'm going to talk to you guys about seed starting equipment. I'm surprised I haven't done a video on this yet because it's probably one of the biggest things to help you guys get the best seed germination and get your seeds started. So when I first started growing my own food, I was told, you know, put some stuff in a seed tray with some dirt, stick it in the windowsill, and it's going to grow quite well and germinate and all that. But after a few years I was having no success with that. First of all is your windows are drafty, it's cold, and your seeds don't like the cold air to germinate. A lot of the seeds like a warmer weather between like 18 and 24 degrees to germinate and have the best success. So don't use your windowsill, too cold, too drafty, not enough air there. So one of the biggest things that I've bought in the past few years that has helped my seeds germinate extremely well is a heat pad here. So all it is just fits underneath your 10 by 20 tray, and you plug it in and it keeps your dirt and soil warm, and then your seeds germinate so much quicker. For example, pepper plants, they usually take 7 to 14 days to germinate, but once you put a heat pad on them, they'll germinate within the first week. So it's quite a big difference on how fast they will germinate. So this is the biggest thing I would recommend, is getting yourselves a heat pad to germinate your seeds. Other things you can use are trays here. What I've been using lately are the 128s. They're the professional trays, so I can get a lot more seedlings in there for my transplant out for my market gardening. If you're just a home gardener and you don't have that many stuff you're going to be planting, you can use these other ones here, the small square ones, and you get 72 of them per tray, and they're a little better too. They have a bigger root system here, so you get a better root system start here, where these ones are a bit smaller in here, so you can see the difference in size here. But I kind of go intertwine them. I'll use both of them as well. The other thing you need is trays that you set your plug cells into. So pop this one in, and so that just captures the water after you've watered it. It keeps the water underneath it, and it keeps everything in place. These are some other plug trays as well you can get. They're little 4 cells, and they're a little bit of a bigger root base in here you can have. I don't use too many of these, just because, like I said, when I'm planting stuff I like to have a lot more food planted, so I have the 128 so I can get more per square footage in my growing area. The other thing that comes in really handy is these plastic tops here. So once you have your tray and your plug cells in and you've got everything watered, you pop these on with your heat tray underneath, or your heat pad, and then it just basically acts like as a humidifier, so it keeps it nice and warm, keeps the seeds at the proper temperature and humidity, and it'll germinate extremely well that way. Once I get my seeds sprouted and everything's grown up really well, for example like tomatoes, I'll transplant the tomatoes to bigger pots here. Main reason is because I need the room for these cells. I'll use these cells over again, so I'll use these plug trays, so I want to get them out into bigger pots where they get a better root system as well, so that when I transplant them they're really strong and ready to go. So these are good as well, and they're great for like flowers as well, if you're just growing flowers and whatever. And if I'm selling plugs, starts, I'll use these pots too to put my like tomatoes in, or zucchinis or whatever I'm going to sell. I'll use these to sell with. The other big thing that I've come across the past few years, which probably a lot of you guys know about, are grow lights. Especially in the winter time when I'm starting my seeds. I'm starting like onions, I'm starting peppers in January, you know, late January, early February, and the sun's still pretty low in the sky. So seeds and plants, they like to have like, you know, 16 to 17 hours of daylight, so they get the most amount of light and they grow stronger that way. So if you're just using, like I said earlier on, just a window light, they're going to have the least amount of light, they're going to be smaller plants, they're going to be leggy, and they won't be as strong as you want them to be. So I'll show you my grow lights here that I've got here, so you guys can check out what I've got going on here, and they work wonders. Worth investment. You can check out you can check out things like Kijiji or Craigslist, or even Marketplace on Facebook to find used stuff. There's no point paying brand new prices, because they can go for, you know, grow lights can go from like 100 to 500 bucks, even more if you get really high quality ones. So yeah, look around so you can find some good quality, cheap used stuff, so if you're just doing a little bit here and there, you're not spending a lot of money right off the bat. So I've got two kinds of grow lights. I've got LED grow lights here, and these ones have two different lights. They've got a red spectrum and a blue spectrum. So the red spectrum That is good for starting your seeds. It helps root growth and germinate better. The blue one here, I'll have to read the box so I can remember what it says here. The blue light encourages healthy leaf and stem growth. And then when you have both of them on for red and blue, pop it on. That's good for flowering and fruit production. So if you're doing tomatoes and your plants are getting well established and you want your tomatoes to start setting some fruit, you use the blue and red spectrum at the same time and you'll start getting some flowers on your tomatoes, so you can get flowers earlier than you normally can. So as well, underneath, you can check out underneath here, here's my heat pad I've got here. That's going strong. Turn the light off here so you can see it. That's a bit dark, sorry. Poor lighting, there we go. So there's my heat pad there underneath my tray. And that's the 120 tray in here that I've got with onions going. You can see them all sprouted up. And I'll show you my other new grow light that I've got here. So the light's a bit bad just because it's backlit. But I just acquired this grow light here, which is pretty awesome. It's a 3-tiered one. I'll do a separate video on it. But this one's great. It's got the fluorescent lights. And it's nice and bright. These guys I've started here as well with the heat mat underneath. And then these germinated within a week. So these green onions are about, I'd say, week and a half, 2 weeks. Just see if I can get better light here. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. So there we go. And this one, once it's this grow light, once it's all set up, I'll be able to probably get 12 trays on it. So I'm excited about that. And then I'll show you the ones I have downstairs as well. Okay, here's my other grow light, an agrobite. It's 24 inches long. And then down bottom here I've got another one. It's 4 feet long. I've got more stuff started down here as well. So I can probably have almost, I'd say, 15 to 20 trays of plants I can grow for starting my seeds and everything, which is pretty exciting. So I got these ones on a timer. This is another good thing to have, guys. If you have a timer, which if I can get in here to show it to you. So I have my lights down here on a timer so that I'm getting the maximum amount of light. So I'm getting 16 to 17 hours of light a day. And then they turn on automatically and they turn off automatically as well with the timer when I've got my time set. So that has helped me quite a bit lately with having that. So that's another good thing to have. So the other thing I've got as well is a power bar. I'm probably going to need to get one more because I'm going to have to probably plug in, I'd say at least 6 to 8 heat mats once I get this one in full production. But right now it's doing what it needs to do. So here we go, here's the little solar fan here, it's going. Probably not at full capacity right now just because it's not super sunny out right now. You can tell, you can see outside there's tons of snow still. It's going to be the first week of March now and just had a big windstorm, snowstorm last night, still really windy. So this is just a USB cable here. That's connected to the solar panel here. And I've just taped it up here on the top, right there. And it works well, I don't have to go anywhere. Comes on when the sun comes out, and then I just leave the fan on, so when I'm not around it just goes on and off when it needs to. Okay, and there's one last thing I forgot to mention that you need for your plug trays. You need some dirt to get your seeds started. Without dirt, obviously, you're not going to be planting your seeds. So I use a Pro Mix, I think it's a BX, a mix. It comes in a big bale, I think it's like 60 pounds. And I've got 2 of those this year because I'll probably use most of it. You can use a nice seed starting mix at your local hardware store. I'd stay away from like a potting mix because it's really heavy. I've tried that before, and what happens is because it's so heavy and moist, the water retains in it and you start getting some moss growing on the top. So you kind of want to stay away from that. You want just something like with peat moss in it. It's got nice water retention. And the soil that I use, it has mycorrhizae in it, which is like a mushroom fungus or whatever that helps with some nutrients. That helps get the roots of your plants established really well. I need to research that a bit more, but it seems to help. When I switched to that product, it's helped my plants grow a lot better than what I used to do. What I used to do was with potting mix, I'd add some more perlite and just try to thin it out, but too much work. And for the amount that I was paying for each of those bags of potting mix, potting soil, not worth my time. So I check out the Pro Mix with mycorrhizae. There's 3 or 4 different lines they have. It works really well, so check that stuff out. And I think that's everything. I've gone through all my seed starting trays, my heat mats, my plug cells, my grow lights I have, a separate video just on my new grow light setup as well for you guys to check out. So guys, thanks for watching again. Please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to make sure you hit the bell button as well so you get the updates every time I post a new video. And thanks for everyone who's subscribed lately. As you know, I've just hit over 1,000 subscribers, so that's really exciting. Please share my videos. I'd like to try to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. It's a pretty lofty goal, but hopefully it's achievable with everyone's help. And so guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys soon.